Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Yes, it's Friday. Welcome to DBL. It is June 26th. We got a little bit of a lighter show today.
I'm all for that. I'm all for
you know what? We love that we discuss very important topics on this show. That's who we are. But we also like to have fun. And we also need a little bit of an exhale.
I think you need to. You need to smile. You need to laugh. I understand what's going on in the world. We're not naive to that fact. But it's heavy. It's weighing on me. I'm losing sleep sometimes, you know, and I think we just need to breathe. You know what I mean? I feel like in the end, the world's going to be a better place. We have a long way to go with a lot of things. That being said, let's get to some stories and let's have some fun.
You want to have some fun?
I want to have some fun.
Yep. Tori has the day off. I hope she's having fun. Brandon joining us from home. Hey, Beelan.
I want to have some fun too. I thought you guys were going to forget about me for a little bit. Hey, I see Sam.
Yes.
Sam, I knew we were going to have fun today when I saw your hair up and I see you in your cocktail dress. Where you going tonight, girl?
I ain't going anywhere, but I do have a little bit of a cocktail dress on and I do got my pone. This is my Friday pone because we don't have any hair here at DBL or makeup. So by day 5, I have so much dry shampoo in my hair, it goes into a pone.
In a pone?
Yeah.
I feel a little oil. I feel a little oil. Because I drink hot coffee and I put it to the suit on under the lights.
You need a little powder.
I get a little oil.
Okay. All right, let's get to the top of the stories. Well, it was yet another record day of coronavirus cases. Infections and hospitalizations are soaring, with nearly 40,000 new infections reported yesterday. Several of the hardest hit states have now put their reopening plans on pause, including Texas, Florida, and Arizona. Speaking of which, in Arizona, nearly 1 in 4 coronavirus tests have come back positive. This past week in Houston, where hospitalizations have been on the rise, ICU capacity is already at 100%. Now, in the meantime, are you ready for this? In Vegas, you can now go back and enjoy an all-you-can-eat buffet. What? The Wynn has become the first hotel to reopen its buffet. For $60, you can pick from a selection of 50 savory items, 20 desserts. They even have a mini placemat for your mask. Brandon, number 1, did we open too early? And number 2, would you fancy yourself a buffet right now? Nice delay, Brandon.
We lost Brandon? Could you hear us?
Oh, I thought that was like a 20-second delay.
I thought he was making a statement like, hell no. I thought that's what it meant for a quick second.
So what do you make of this? We'll get to the serious part.
Okay.
First, I want to know, would Jeff Schroeder go to a buffet right now? Something as fancy as, even if it's fancy like the Wynn.
No, and I'll put a Jeff Schroeder story on for you. My single friends in LA wrote me in a group message like, we're all going to Vegas. I'm like, I have a family, man. What are you talking? I'm not going to Vegas. And he's like, dude, the rooms are $100 for a penthouse. I'm like, don't you think there's a reason for that? Because I'm not going to Vegas, touching those chips, going to a buffet. I don't even go out. I've never even been to a restaurant. Why would you think I'm going to Las Vegas?
I agree with you. I'm just told that Brandon is back. Beelan, really quickly, because we have a lot of stories to get to. Listen, I hope that we can somehow find a new normal that is safe and effective when it comes to coronavirus cases, because I do not want to overwhelm the healthcare system, and I do not want to add to that hospitalization or death toll. But Brandon, I want to hear from you in regard to, do you think we'll return to a new normal that can be sustainable in regard to lowering the number, and would you go to a buffet?
I don't think we're going to go back to a new normal, Sam, until 2021. That we have to have a vaccine. That's the only way people are going to want to get back to some sort of normalcy. As for the buffet,
what?
You know, for some crab legs, Sam, all you can eat crab legs. I'm a sucker for all you can eat crab legs. I might just go to a buffet for crab legs.
Okay.
Spend the extra $10 and be safe.
Yeah, don't come here after you go to that buffet, Brandon. Don't come here. Okay, so what else does 2020 have in store for us, huh? A massive dust storm made up of sand from the Sahara Desert is set to hit the U.S. today. It's expected to reach the Gulf Coast region later today. It's already darkened skies all across the Caribbean and could reach as far as Ohio or Illinois. So to give you some perspective, look at this. This is a picture taken by one of the astronauts on the space station. How crazy is that? And of course, the internet had some fun with the news. One person tweeted, awesome. I always wondered what it was like to live during the times of the Civil War, Spanish flu, Great Depression, Civil Rights Movement, Watergate, and the Dust Bowl. Not all at once, mind you, but you know, beggars can't be choosers and all. Yeah, I mean, they forgot the murder hornet.
What happened to the murder hornet?
I don't know.
He's gone.
The murder hornet was handled.
Well, good.
I hope.
This is
I don't know if he was
I don't know if
handled.
he is either. He might just be rounding up his troops. I don't know.
He's ready for a comeback.
This is like, did you ever watch Mission Impossible, like the last one, when he's hanging outside like the hotel and he's got to swing around and the dust storm comes?
No.
Nobody saw that Mission Impossible?
No. Did Brandon? Maybe Brandon.
What?
Yeah,
You
that's
can
a sandstorm.
You know what I'm talking. Did you watch that Mission Impossible? Is it
Yeah.
Rogue Nation?
Okay.
But that's different, Jeff. That's a sandstorm.
Oh.
This is different.
Oh, this is a
because
dust storm.
you know how I love planet Earth. So
Yeah.
this is actually on planet Earth, and there's a thing called phosphorus in this dust, and it usually goes to the Amazon, and this is what fertilizes the Amazon. So this is pretty cool. This is what I do when I Netflix and
knowledge.
chill. I planet Earth and chill.
Wow, Brandon London. All of a sudden,
you just got some
our
ladies like,
science
here come the
expert.
DMs, buddy.
Thank you for that, Brandon. Very cool.
Mother Nature is sexy.
Yes, she is, honey. Yes, she is. Okay, so this story, wow. A Starbucks barista has reason to celebrate after a woman tried to shame him in this Facebook post saying, "Meet Lennon from Starbucks who refused to serve me because I'm not wearing a mask. Next time I will wait for cops and bring a medical exemption." So this GoFundMe page was started for the employee. It's made over $34,000. He's now thanking his supporters. Watch.
Hey everyone, I just wanted to say thank you for all the love and support, and that what everyone is doing is an honor to see all this happen. But I just want to remind everyone to be kind to one another and to love each other, and always remember to wear a mask.
I love him. And let me give you some context. If you have not seen the video of the woman that went in there, so entitled, bananas. She starts talking about the mark of the beast. I have no idea what that means, but she ends up going off on a tangent into a rabbit hole about the mark of the beast. And this poor guy, and for her to think that she can just call the cops, that can end up in dangerous situations that we've seen. So again, this is, yes, we're joking about it, but that could have ended a lot differently.
Yeah, I don't even want to give that lady any credit. I want to talk about this young man. I get this. You're gonna sound like I'm crazy, but when I go through the drive-through, like for my kids, and I get like emotional when I see like a young teenager and they're like with their belt on and they're like, "Hi, well, hello, sir." I like get emotional. I'm like, you're such a hard worker. You're gonna do something in life. Like I have all these positive things I want to say to them, but
Why don't
doing,
you?
I don't know, because I feel like
think
a
you
loser.
should. No, I
get
think
like
you
emotion
should.
because that's like what hard work is. That's America. People are online. People like that lady complaining. You do nothing. You're negative. You're a poison to this society. Meanwhile, there's people out there, 16 years old, grinding and waking up and putting on that cute belt and going to work. You know?
He couldn't have said it any better, Brandon, with the cute belt too.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, this is one of those things where when keeping it real goes wrong, well, this was when keeping it wrong goes real.
Yeah.
Because it ended up backfiring on her. But Sam, does he have to split the tips with the rest of the employees?
Ooh.
21K now.
Ooh, that is a good question. First of all, you are dropping knowledge. I loved your little slogan that you just said. You should hashtag that, trademark it. But yeah, as a former waitress who pooled, you're supposed to pool.
Pooled her tips.
Pooled your tips. You're supposed to pool. But in this case, he's the one.
He's the face.
He's the face of it. He gets that. Maybe a little kickback to his
Maybe a couple
employees.
gift cards.
Little Starbucks gift card, even though they already have free Starbucks.
But he's just gonna, maybe pass them out to family and friends.
Okay. All right, coming up on DBL, our medical expert, Dr. Payal Kohli, is separating fact from fiction when it comes to COVID-19. Do not miss her vital information. And later, Jeff catches up with Dr. Ish from Marriage Boot Camp. He's got some tips on keeping love alive during the pandemic. Okay. And as we wrap up another week, we could not have done it without all our DBL staffers working from home. We appreciate you guys. We miss you guys. We'll be right back.
Introducing the future
Providing info to keep you and your loved ones safe. Dr. Pyle Coley, happy Friday.
Hi guys, happy Friday.
Hey. So today, especially considering how many of our DBL viewers are confused, Dr. Pyle Coley, we need your help. We want to separate fact from fiction because there's so much confusion out there, and a lot of these questions, as I just stated, are coming straight from the DBL Nation, okay? So we're going to give you a statement, and can you let us know if it is fact or fiction? Here we go. First, fact or fiction, since the virus has shifted from older to younger people, we don't need to worry as much because the younger people are less likely to get sick from it.
So this is good. I love these segments, and I know Jeff loves them too. So this is fiction, you guys. So it is true that younger people are less likely to get sick from the virus. But to be honest, I'm actually more concerned now that the virus has gone into the younger demographic. And the reason for that is because it doesn't declare itself in the same way. So younger people are more likely to be asymptomatic. They're more likely to have more social contacts. So the fact that it's now in the younger population means that it actually may spread faster. And we know that it's just a matter of time before these younger people who are the caretakers in the nursing homes, who work in the hospitals, start to take it to the older population.
All right, Doc, I've been waiting for this question, but it's from a viewer. Wink, wink. Doc, the dramatic, why did I do that? Doc, the dramatic increase in COVID-19 cases as a direct result of parties and gatherings, small and large, such as Memorial Day parties and the protests. Is this fact or fiction?
Jeff, this one's for you. This is fact. And in fact, contact tracers in California have actually traced back a lot of the spike in cases to Memorial Day parties. So there's actually now regulations on gatherings that people can have over there. There is a study that came out that said that protests may not actually have led to an increase in cases, but I actually have my doubts about that because I don't think that we've done adequate contact tracing from the protests to make that conclusion. So we know from the science that any large gathering, including protests where people get together, will facilitate the spread of the virus. So this is definitely a fact.
Wow.
Dr. Coley, I love you, even though I'm not on camera.
Yeah, you are not. There you are. There you are, buddy.
I love you, Doc.
Fact or fiction, Doctor?
I love you too, Jeff.
We are in, so fact or fiction, we are in the second wave of infections right now.
Sam, this one is a fiction, and there's a lot of confusion about the wave and the spike. But remember, in order for something to be a wave, the cases have had to have come all the way down. Unfortunately, we never really enjoyed that. So we're in the second spike of our first wave. We're not in a second wave because our cases never really came down.
All right, I got another one for you. Is it possible one test can tell the difference between the flu and COVID-19? This is actually interesting. Is it fact or fiction?
This is a fact. Can you believe it? So there's a company out there that's working on developing a test, one test that can tell you whether it's flu, whether it's COVID-19, or whether it's another kind of respiratory condition called respiratory syncytial virus. So one test gives you 3 answers. And this is going to be huge come fall because you realize a lot of people are going to be presenting with a fever, a cough, and doctors aren't really going to know what it is. So one test will be able to answer that question, and it comes back in about 35 minutes. So it's really, really an important development.
Wow. Okay, everyone who gets COVID-19 will have an antibody response. Is that fact or fiction?
This is fiction. So this is an important one for people to know that it's fiction. In fact, studies have shown us that of the people that get COVID-19, about 70% have a strong antibody response, about 25% have a weak antibody response, and there's 5% of unlucky people who don't seem to be mounting a neutralizing antibody response to COVID-19, even after getting infected.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Thank you so much, Dr. Coley, for always, as we said earlier, we're using it throughout the show, dropping the knowledge.
Yeah,
right?
Brandon London was dropping some, you're dropping some, and this might have been the best Dr. Coley interview we've ever done.
Why? Because it validated something that you believe?
Yeah. And let me be clear, it wasn't about the protest, it was everything put into one, because we've had that discussion on the show
parties,
multiple times, and people were telling me no, even online. So, Doctor, thank you for proving that point for me.
Thank you, Doctor. We will be right back.
Do you suffer from obesity?
Welcome back to DBL. Guess what? Marriage is hard. Big surprise there, I know. I was kidding. I love my wife. But luckily, Dr. Ish is there to help us through the tough moments. I caught up with the Marriage Bootcamp host earlier in today's DBL Spotlight. Dr. Ish, welcome to Daily Blast Live. Thank you so much for your time. We were just chatting a little bit before we started. Many moons ago, I was on the show Marriage Bootcamp, Dr. Ish, with Jim and Carol. And this necklace is making me so sick.
I know it's knotted. You have to fix it. It's like my favorite necklace. I couldn't do it, and you're better at stuff like that. So that's why I give it to you.
You're better at making the problems, and I'm better at untying them. This is like maybe a metaphor of our relationship.
Oh, hey man, so you know the routine, you know the grind, and you know how hard it is. Yeah.
It is, and I got to tell you, we learned a lot. So I know a lot of people think it's just a reality show, but you guys are actually doing a lot of good in there. So thank you for that.
Yeah, and thank you so much for that. Yeah, it's real, and that's the biggest thing. And you probably remember this from going in. You go in, you think it's just a regular reality show, but then 2 or 3 days in, you're like, oh wait, this is actually real, and I can use this stuff when I go home. And so it's a really cool feeling for you guys who are part of the cast, and for us and Judge and myself, because we get to feel good because we know we helped some folks and gave you some tools to take home in your bag.
That's exactly it, tools for my bag. A lot of people don't get that, so thanks for breaking it down. Speaking of tools, what do you think people would use during this self-quarantine that are trying to date out there? This has got to be a tough time for single people.
It is, but let the tech be your guide, right? FaceTime is a thing, Zoom is a thing, Skype meetings are a thing, and so you can date virtually just like that. One of the cool things I like, have a virtual date just like you would have a date in person, right? You get dressed up, you set the table, you get your glass of whatever it is your favorite thing is to drink, and then you turn your screen on and say, hey, listen, you know what? I know this is awkward for you as it is for me, but I didn't want to wait until this whole thing is over to get to know more about you. Boom, you got an instant connection and you go with it. We use the tools we have to get through the days that we got. And that's what you can do.
All right, let's take it one step further. All that goes well, you're having your wine, it feels good. What about the intimacy part of that? How do you do that through social distancing?
Well, you can be, right? Intimacy isn't only sex, right? Intimacy is conversations. Intimacy is sweetness and tenderness. Intimacy is being able to share some of those things you can about yourself. And so those are some of the things you can do online. Those are some of the things you're going to see our couples learn how to do in the show. And so I can't wait for you guys to watch Thursday nights at 9 on WeTV. We'll see you there.
I can't wait. Real quick, I got to get this answer from you. Which Marriage Bootcamp couple, for better or worse, was most memorable to you, Dr. Ish?
Oh my God, which one wasn't? Corrupt and Tony from the Dog Pound, that is Fire and Ice. Phaedra, Miss Love and Hip Hop, Atlanta herself returns to the screen. They were all for their own very distinct reasons.
Dr. Ish, I'll be watching. Thank you so much for all you do. Marriage Bootcamp Hip Hop Edition premieres.
Thank you so much.
Thursday, July 2nd. Dr. Ish, again, thank you so much, and thanks for your time, man. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration.
Travel is looking a lot different these days. In fact, more people are going glamping. We're chatting about it in today's DBL Drive, sponsored by CarShield. Forbes magazine says glamping is surging in popularity because it's the perfect opportunity for a mini getaway while still social distancing. Look how gorgeous that is. If you didn't know, glamping is staying in a remote area that feels like camping, only you're staying inside a yurt or a tiny home. You've got all the essentials like a bathroom and a kitchen, and often at lower prices than hotels. In 2018, the glamping market was valued at $2.1 billion and is expected to expand by 12% by 2025. So when it comes to travel, for peace of mind, get an auto protection plan with CarShield. CarShield protects their members from the high cost of auto repairs. Call 1-800-505-9619 for a free quote. That looks amazing.
It does. I like old school camping, but I wouldn't be mad if my wife booked something like that.
So if you had a choice right now to do like the camping like we did on this show during Mother's Day weekend, by the way, or glamping, which would you choose?
I would go camping just so you could appreciate that when you go there. Brandon, is Brandon with us? Are you a glamper?
No, they told us Brandon's not here.
I was talking to Michael Dean. I was having a side conversation about Yellowstone,
or Rosh.
which is an amazing show.
I was listening to Rosh. I was listening. I want to glamp.
I know. You were like oohing and awing about it.
Oh, I'm doing it. I got to find a way soon. Brandon, thank you for joining us. DBL's new every day. We'll see you same time, same place Monday. Bye, guys.